All right. Hi. Good evening. Let me just share my screen. Yeah. Let me just set up the chat. Hi and welcome after good 2 months break, guys. Uh, it was good vacations for me, so happy to be back. Yeah. Hi Nilesh, hi Kiran, hi Shri, hi Bhushan, hi Joy. Google Technical Analysis. Sure, Joy. Hi Masuda. Hi Nexus. Hi Shri. I'm having a good weekend. Just resting. Hi Yogesh. Hi Rahul. Hi Mr. Bajwa. Hi Chu. Hi Chris. Hi Vivek. Hi Raman. Shiv. Hi Raki. All right, guys. First and foremost thing, let me just open ES and see where it is heading, and we have some important event this week. So let me just remove the volume from the futures just to give a clear picture. Hi Senthil, hi Trader, hi Andrew. Thank you for. So guys, let's go through uh this let me just add FMC view. So until now, Fed has set up the expectation that inflation is really high, which is right now 8.3. And everybody's expecting a 75 basis points expectations. But I still think they're going to do 50 basis points. And next, they're going to increment that with 25 basis points. Now, in this whole scenario where we have 75 basis points, this is totally priced in. I don't think so. We're going to get 100 basis points hike. That's not happening. European Central Bank also has indicated that they are far, far away from a rate which is called a neutral rate, where inflation will match the rate of the central bank. So there's some pressure that it can go to 75%, but more or less, I think we are going to have 50 now and 25 for the next couple of months, back to back 25, 25, 25. So expectations wise, market is pricing in 75. So if we get 50, we will have some serious up move. If we get 75, we'll still get an up move because that is priced in, but that up move will be a short duration up move, because in the longer duration, the interest rates are getting higher. And when the interest rates are getting higher, they're going to have impact on all the companies, because all the companies borrow money. They do not use the cash in hand. They borrow money because it is non-taxable. And when you have non-taxable income coming to your company, you can use that income and you don't have to pay taxes on it. That will become costly. If that becomes costly, it's going to hit the margins and the balance sheet of the companies. So the impact of higher interest rate is yet to be felt. Like FedEx gave a clear warning regarding the macroeconomic conditions which are prevailing right now in the country, and you see what happened to it. Same thing with big companies like Apple, Microsoft, you're seeing that they're breaking down certain important levels. So the impact of 75 basis points one more time will be definitely felt, but because we have priced in this 75 basis point hike, we might have a rally for a day or two. But then we'll come back to the long-term situation that yes, the cost of borrowing is getting higher and it's become costly. Second thing, the $95 billion Fed outtake is also going to impact. So right now, there's no fresh money coming in. That's why we are not making newer highs. Plus, 75 basis point is cutting on the liquidity. As I said, the cost of borrowing is getting expensive. When the cost of borrowing is getting expensive, there will be a liquidity crunch. And with $95 billion coming out every month from now, it's gonna hard like market or funds or retailers have to at least invest $95 billion so that they can offset the $95 billion selling from the Fed, which includes bonds and equities and corporate debt and a couple of other instruments. Now, ECB used to put money. They are closed now. They're not adding any money into the market. Plus, they did a very aggressive rate hike, 75 basis points, which nobody was expecting. And they are ready to add higher interest rates because the difference between their inflation and the neutral rate is getting wider and wider. So as of now, 75 basis point hike is expected by everybody. So possibly Fed listens and give 75 basis points. But when you read back into the statements from the Fed since their last meeting, I think 50 basis point is something which should come. And 50 basis points will give some relief to the market that yes, there is some sense of growth which needs to be managed by the Fed is coming back into the picture and they will give thumbs up. But again, you need to understand it is still a rate hike. It is adding on to the cost of borrowing. But because it is less than what it is expected, we might see a jump. I don't see 100 basis point hike at all. So this is my expectations uh, from the Fed. Again, we'll trade from levels to levels. Let's see if we have some good levels. In between last week, I posted a 4009 level and told that if we lose 4009, we will see 3920 and 3860. We're almost there. But I would now look at the levels one more time, see how these levels are coming up for some of the tickers. I'm not going to do a 20 ticker list this time. I'm going to focus on only 5 or 10 tickers. I have not done those tickers. So we'll start today because it's my first day after 2.5 months time duration. So let's see how it pans out. So let's start from ES. ES is on the longer time, 3855. I posted this level on Friday and look at this jump. It came and tested that 3855 area and bounced right from there. It tested that twice on Friday and it gave us good opportunity to go long. I went long here in Netflix and Nvidia and did well on both the trades. So the goal is we need to wait for these levels to come and look at the stocks which are showing some relative strength at that time. Relative strength meaning like ES is down 1% and let's say Netflix is down 0.5%. When it comes to 0.09 with minus, it becomes 0. This means it's showing relative strength. Now, if relative strength is there, and we are at a very good support zone, I would go long. The same thing I did in Netflix and Nvidia. The other two things which you can check is whether they are about 1234. Yes. And if they are there, that gives you much more confidence in the trade you are picking. So right now we need to see in the longer term horizon. I'm going to delete this channel because I don't need it anymore. So if you see, we are still in this. Let me cancel the extensions. So this is what we have right now. Now, this is a very good area where we can add some Fibonacci extensions and see. Now, why I'm trying to add Fibonacci extensions? Because we have a recent low, we made a recent high, and we are now looking for a direction. That direction could be down south or on the higher side. This will give us a clear idea whether we are heading upwards and what will be the possible areas of resistance, and whether we are going downwards, what are the possible areas of support. So I'm going to pick up drawing, go there and pick up Fibonacci extensions. I'm going to click 3639 because that's the recent low, go higher and come back to 3855-ish area, which was Friday. I'm going to fix this numbers, click edit properties. I'm going to see 3639. You may leave them, but I prefer to be uh, absolutely right on those numbers so that it's easier. 43, 27, 50. And Friday was 33. So these are my extensions. Now, as you see right here, if we are basing meaning the price is holding 3853, 3855 area. I don't see any resistance until 4020. So if we go from here on the upside, we have some serious potential of about 4% move. That's about 140, 150 points to 4020. And that's also a test of 34 EMA because we have lost this. So a back test will be really, really good. So yes, it will be good to test this. If we lose this, then we have area of 3750, which is this area where we see a cluster of candles, like they juggle around here. So the next support, which is the dark line as well, the dark black line is around 3740, 3750. If we lose 3855, I think we're going down towards 3700. And if we lose 3740, 3750, we are going to fill and test the 3397 area, which was the COVID high. So I have a couple of questions. Pushin, 95 needs to be replaced with banks holding money with Fed. Will that happen? No, $95 billion is the money which banks or any corporate has to sell their assets and give back to the Fed. So it will not be replaced by the banks holding money with. It could be banks, it could be any corporates, it could be any private party where Fed has bought their debt. If 100 does come, how would market react? Market would give you 10% on that day on the negative side if we have a 100 basis point hike. Because I have a zero expectation of that, and 100 basis point means very, very aggressive rate hike. Reverse repo is the rate where Fed keeps the money with the banks. Why would Fed needs to keep the money with the banks? At this time, Fed wants to take the money from the economy. So it wants the money come back to the Fed. All right, so in my view, yes, I will keep this as neutral. My stop loss is 38.55. That's a very, very important area. I want to go long. I want to go long right here at 38.85, 38.90 area. It's a 20-point range, but I would love to cross this 38.90, and stop loss is between, no, this is the perfect stop loss. I just want to give 5 more points. 38.55, 38.50. So that's a 40-point range on the stop loss. It means that if we have a dip, we go to 38.55, do not buy at that time. If it comes back above 38.90, only buy then. That's a 1% move. In between, do not trade. I'm just reiterating myself. If you see a dip towards 38.55, do not buy unless it bounces, because it has been tested 2 or 3 times on Friday. If it tests one more time, it is going to break, and then we will see 37.40, 37.50. So I'm going to keep insisting, let it test, come back on a bounce. If it bounces back, only then go long in the index. And where we will find the resistance? Resistances will be right here. The first one is this. There's no gap, right? The high is 39.05, the low is 39.05. So there's no gap. I'm going to go and see 39.25. You see, this is the high, this is the low. So 39.25 is the first area where we could find some resistance, and then 39.75, which is the 12 EMA. 39.75 and 40.25, which is the 34 EMA. This may happen this week or right before Fed, but I'm expecting this to happen. I'm going to give it a 60%. Back test of 12 and 34 EMA is needed. Now on the short side, we will sell below 38.50. Stop loss will be 38.65 max, and the target areas are 3800, 37.50. It will be a clear failure if we lose 38.50. It's a failure of the breakdown, plus there's no support here, and it will go down. From a candle perspective, if we look at Heikin Nishi, the trend is showing negative. So the bias is negative. We do not have anything clear which is telling us that there may be a change in the direction, but there is an important support area. So that's what I'm saying. We may remain choppy in between 38.55, 38.90. That's a zone where you need to be a stock specific person. You should not trade index, trade stocks in between. Okay, so there's one question from Francis. So I have this regression channel which is drawn from the top 4808 towards the current when it was maybe in May or June, and now just done the extensions. So it's I'll check with you, Francis, after I'm done with this call and see where we can have this levels. Sanjay, no, enjoy. Again, I don't believe that Fed has anything to do with the midterms. And that's a perception which is always ongoing. Can we tour edit properties for the regression journal? I just did that. Ushan, nobody is buying from the Fed. Fed has already sold these things. Now Fed is taking their money back. It's just that I lend money to you. Now it's my turn to take money back from you. Hi, Jeremy. So that's my view on ES. Triple Q. Triple Q came out of this down regression channel, but is still in the negative trend. Not showing any respite whatsoever. Friday, it shot some strength, but I still need 290 to cross, which is showing right now. If it does, we can have a back test of 298, 299 area. So QQQ, it's needs a break above 38.2% fib level. So if it comes here and crosses, this is 38. If it comes and retain this area, 289, roughly 290-ish area, we have probability of hitting 298 and 305. That is in line with my understanding of ES. That's about 4%. This is also about 4%. So in my sheet, I want to go long. Again, I'm neutral here. I want to buy above 290. Let's verify once again. 291. Let's keep it simple. Buy above 291. Stop loss is 290. Targets are 294.50, 299, 294.50, 299, and 306. I'm gonna give it 60%. On the short side, if we lose 289, we're gonna see 284 and 274. 274 is something where it has seen some substantial support. So I would wait for 284 and 274. If we lose, sell below 289.90 plus 291. Target is 284, 284 and 274. Loss of important support. Yep. All right, now I have to choose some tickers. Apple should be ticker anywhere. Apple is, again, it's a very important level, 38.2, 150-ish. And it's making dodgy from top to bottom. Now, if we have a bounce, we might do a back test, and back test, again, as I said, It's a component which is a highly placed component in both Nasdaq and S&P. So probably higher possibility of this going up before we have the decision. We might see a pre FOMC move, most likely, uh, as compared to a post one. Because, as I said, 75 basis point is already priced in, and with commodity prices easing off, rents are still higher, which is causing inflation. But with Russia and Ukraine, things slowly and steadily, like, they're not turning bad. The only thing which can come and turn bad is China and Taiwan. But as of now, things are getting better. The real thing which was announced has been addressed, so it will not have impact on supply and demand. So I think we still have area for bounce, but again, we'll look at the levels and see. Right now, 150.70 where it closed, it is important 38.2 Fibonacci level. I'm gonna try as a neutral. I'm gonna do a buy on Apple, and I want to buy here at 152-ish or buy above 152. Stop loss 150.70. And my target is 154, 156, 154.80, 156.35. Sell below 150.70. And we can see 145.63. Or see, on the longer term, I still feel Apple has potential to go much lower than 145. But right now, you're trading level to level. So 150 is an important area. It's a 38.2 Fibonacci level. And it closed right on it. If it loses this area, we should sell it. That's why, like, it's 60%. It's not hefty 70 or 80%. AMD. AMD is struggling a lot with chip sector, and it's out of my regression channel. And if you see, it's kind of setting up a W on the longer term. It's setting up, but I want it to come back and cross this area so that it can test 79. Once it tests 79, 81, if it breaks higher, that's a area where we should invest in AMD. It's a very good W, and like it was overrated last year. It went to almost 165. Right now it's about 75. That's about 60% route of its value. It's a fair value now. If you had AMD last year at 76 and it was trading at 140, you wished it come around that price. It has come around. Now we need to see whether it take cognizance here and bounce, or it goes down further. I feel that looking at the price section, we have Doji and a green candle. And if I do a high Kinishi, we have lower lows. So we might do a back test of this green line, and not so clear, just to be honest. It's still in a mode where it will be sold on rise, or so I'm just gonna take a small trade AMD, buy above 77, stop loss 76, and target 79.50 and 81.25. Sell below 76. There are gaps at 60. So 76 is an important area. There are gaps on AMD. If you go to the 5-year horizon, you will see that there are gaps right here. 61. So if it loses this area, that's going to be nasty. So a very small trade in the eve of FOMC. So just added that. Amazon with FedEx, Amazon is also going to face some serious issues. Amazon had a gap which is still held. It did a hammer on Friday, like 23.6 Fibonacci. It held on to that and bounced. Now it should act as a base. Till the moment it is holding 120, 180 area, it should be all right. If it loses this area, we have to worry. But right now, it can backtest this 130 area and fill the gap as well. So I'm going to keep a neutral stance on Microsoft, Amazon by above. I will go higher on Friday's high, which is 124. So buy above 124. Stop loss is 121.80, 90. And target areas is first the gap, which is 125.50. 125.50. If it fills the gap, then we should see 130. And we need to sell below 121. And if it loses 121, the support is 119, 113. Let me read some comments. I have spreads for MNQ and MES. One MNQ is equal to 3 MES. No. MQ, like in terms of margin, probably, but I don't know. Kishore, it's okay to go long now. Kishore, I would not recommend you unless Chinese market, like around 10ish, go long around that time, not now. Because there's a very low volume, all of a sudden, if you see 20 points down move, then no point. Then BA. BA is also at a very important juncture. It went really high once we had this breakout of this channel. It's coming to that same area 143, 144. So if you look at this chart, you will find that 61 Fibonacci level, 143.20. It's important. Like all these big stocks, which are high component size in the index, they are at a very important juncture. If they do not bounce here, they will go down. If 61.8 is failed, it's going to test back 124, which is 23.6 Fibonacci, which is really sad. So it's going to be very tough for BA not to hold this area. BA in their press conference has said that they have enough liquidity, they have enough demand, and they're going to increase. So I totally believe this is the area where BA should find some significant support. So I'm going to try BA. I'm going to keep positive for this. This is 61 Fibonacci support. Stop loss is 143.20. 143.20. Buy near 144, 145. Again, no need to rush. If you want to see out FOMC, wait it out. And the target is 151. First is the gap. Gap is 147.25. and then the 150, 150. Important support of 161.8 pip at 143.20. Baba, I'm not doing. It's a stock which is not working out, but it's in an area where every time it comes here, it gets a bounce. But on a long-term horizon, it's also making head and shoulders. So if you see this, it's making head and shoulders. So if it loses 86, it might go back to 73. So I I I don't know what to do with Baba. I think it should hold 70, 80, 85 area. But this is the area where if it loses, we have tested this area enough. One more test and it will be gone. We'll see 80. So I'm going to sell Baba, sell below 85. Stop loss is 86, 87. And target area is 80, 250, and 80. Buy above 87 for 90, 93. CRM had a good quarter last time, and it's setting up for a abandoned baby. We have a gap. If we have a gap up tomorrow, that will be an abandoned baby. Abandoned baby are really bullish patterns. So in this case, we have a gap here. We have a gap here. If we have gap tomorrow, it will be an abandoned baby. So I would love to go long above 154 if we have a gap. But that's something too much to ask. But if we have any gap here on this, which is above 152 or 153, possible abandoned baby pattern. It was long term. HNS. In this case, I don't want the gap to be filled. So I want 153 buy above 153, stop loss 152. Target is 154.55. And 159. Again, I'm looking at all these targets because my bias is positive. I expect it to go higher. I do not want to include PayPal. I will include Crowd here. Or I can include Netflix. I want to come down on stocks. I'm going to reduce Roku. I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to reduce MDB. I'm going to remove Roblox. Yep. From tomorrow, I'll also reduce, like we'll bring this down to 10 so that it can become much more focused approach. Netflix. Netflix is doing good. It's a long-term cup and handle. Plus, it's looking to break into the gap. So if market gives higher strength, it's the best one to go long. It's a long-term cup and handle. This is the cup, came down, handle. Breakout to fill the gap at 340. So it's something this quarter you can have some good earnings from Netflix. So cup and handle in Netflix. On daily time frame. Now Netflix, where should we buy? Now the support, if you look at this area, this was acting as resistance. This was acting as resistance, which is around 234 to 35. Now this should act as a base, and if we break out, we should hit this area, which is 245 and 249. The Netflix is positive by near 238, 240 range. If it comes, 234 is the stop loss, 245, 249. I'm 70% bullish on Netflix. And it's green. Obrino, I did Airbnb 2 days back. It's also had a inverted head and shoulders. Let me do that instead of D-Dog. Airbnb. Airbnb, I posted few days back. It's making inverted head and shoulders. Right there. It's inverted head and shoulder. It even almost tested this 130 area, but failed because market broke down. Right now, it's testing this 12 and 34. So I would love to add this with stop loss of 116. Airbnb positive. It's inverted head and shoulders on daily time frame. I'm just giving it one more go because stop loss is 116. I want to buy above 120-ish. Or buy near 118, 120. Stop loss is the first target is 124.25. 124.25. And then the next target is 130.25. Another one which I'm looking these days is it's something which is holding the 12 and 34. It's also making cup and handle. It's a beautiful cup and handle again. I do have a position in HC 113, 118 spread, and I'm holding it. The trend is positive. Everything is positive on HC. So it's also a cup and handle on daily time frame. I want to keep 108, no, 106 as my stop loss on HC, which is the 34. It was tested and it has been held beautifully for now. And if we break above 109, we should see some good move in HC. And it's a stock which moves really, really fast. And my target is 119 and 116. I'm not looking at MU in Twitter. They are. I'll answer that, Amit. Once I'm done, I will answer that. Then we have Meta. Meta has lost an important area, and it's a bearish flag which is happening in Meta. It broke down of it. Now, I really don't have a trade on Meta. Like it needs to break above 150, which is about 3%, to regain anything. Otherwise, it's going to be going down towards 134, 135. Shall eliminate Meta as well. It's not looking good. Microsoft. Microsoft uh, is trying to do a double bottom here. Like previously, it came around this area and bounced. It's trying to do that, but in the last few, uh, again, I see a head and shoulder pattern. I don't know what to do. If you see the same thing, let me know. It has broken down of the head and shoulder, so I would sell this if it comes higher towards 248. I don't see anything else on Microsoft. I'm gonna short Microsoft. Sell on rise near 248. I would keep a stop loss of 250. Target of 239. Buy above 240, 250. Google has lost all the momentum. Since the split is there, it has come down to very important area, 101.80. Friday, it held on to it. But if it loses 101, there are gaps, 97 gaps, there are gaps at 90. So if it loses 101, like in case market loses, I'm short on Google, sell below 101.80, 90. If it loses, we should see 97 and 90. Buy above. There's no need to buy. Google is weak. Like Meta, Google is weak. So I will sell this. Nvidia. Nvidia on Friday did a bullish engulfing. It covered the entire body, closed on the day high. I think I'll give it a try with 129 stop loss. It's bullish engulfing. $129 stop loss. Again, if it loses all these areas, it's gonna go down to 117, 118. So very tight stop loss. Pioneer 130, 130, one area. Target comes around to be 138, 140. Tesla is very strong in the last few days, and I need to change my regression channel. Now I'm going to set up this regression channel. And add again. So this is the regression channel, which is from left to right. I'm going to take from going to extend to the right. This is the regression channel because the screen is left to right going down. So I took the top and defined here. If you see, it's making an inverted head and shoulders in this area. It's making, if it breaks this 303 area, we should see 330, 335 pretty soon. And it has been holding this 12 and 34 EMA for quite a while and properly. So I'm going to keep, I'm going to go above 307 in Tesla. I'm going to take positive relative strength and inverted end and shoulders. Remove this. So buy about 307.50. Stop loss is 303. Target is 3. Let's make some level on this as well. From the support right here, went to the top. $320, that's what's coming. 320. Yep, that's it. Square and let me just go through one by one. Square. I'm not going to add into my list. 1 second, let me share. Guys, I have created a private group. I'm going to share these links over there, not in the public, because that's something is not working out properly. So people who are in my Telegram group, they can join and ask questions in between. I'm going to go through one by one. Square is at a 23.6 Fibonacci level. 64 is a good support area. If it holds it, possibly 70. But there's nothing as such I can see, which looks really good. Then gold is something like on a longer term horizon, it's making a M, which finds the support at 1500. Guys, if you are not speaking, mute yourself. Gold is something, guys, if you don't know to mute, I really don't know what to do. If you have any questions, raise your hand. So gold, if I have to take gold, I will go gold long only above 1710, not here. It's not looking good. If dollar index is going stronger, gold is going to go weaker. And with what you call uh with more liquidity crunch, dollar is going to go higher. So it's going to be tough time for gold. We want gold. Gold will go up with the market, just to be simple. Okay, Google is painful. Yes, Tesla looking good. Uh, SQ is in head and shoulders. SQ is head and shoulders. Yes, if it breaks down 64, it can comes down to 56. NQ, Raghu, I do not do that because NQ is too complicated and too big to trade. But uh, it needs to go about 12,000 for 12 to 50 run, and it's at a head and shoulder point. If it loses 12,000, right now it's about 100 points below, it can go to 11,650 and 11,000. I'm going to spend a couple of more minutes before I really close this. XBI. XBI is for biotech. Biotech is at an important juncture, 61. If it loses this area, it might come down to 76. So 80, 82, 83 area is something which needs to be like right now. If you see, it's struggling right here against this line. So I'll be positive only above if it goes above 85. If it does, yes, it can go up to 91. But if it breaks or holds below 85, 76, 80, something it can test. Last one is Okta. It's making a bearish flag. If it goes down, it can break down further. It can break down further, yes. Yes, Vinod.
Hi, can you look at XPEV? I have some shares.
XP?
EV. It's a Chinese EV company, all-time low.
Just to be honest, these companies will move, not now, but in some near future. So
Okay.
it's something like if you have stocks, you have to hold them in pain because Chinese economy has to grow. Otherwise, we are going to go in a recession, which will be very difficult to come out. Chinese index has been on the downside for the last 6 years. So this is a good time where Chinese index should start to move, and they are trying their best to uh, input more and more positive things into the economy. So right now it's looking bad, but if you want to hold for a longer term, what's your price for this?
1480. I just bought it on Friday.
Then you should be fine. If you're a long-term investor, this is something which should invest. It's not for a day trading thing.
Yes.
Long-term investors, yes.
Thank you.
Uh, ENPH MDB. ENPH MDB, I don't want to go there because they are more news dependent based on Russian news, Francis. The same as for any energy, the energy prices are still really high, yes, but I don't think so they're gonna move higher or lower. they will be in the range in next few days. It's not going to be easier for energy to switch 10%, 20% moves. It's going to consolidate. I'm going to take United Healthcare. Yes, Raghu.
Hi, Naval. Naval, how
Hi.
about a Rivian? Last 2 weeks, we are like, there's more like from around 32 to 39.40s.
See, it already moved, and you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it already moved, and its major
With Mercedes.
contractor is Amazon.
No,
Right.
recently they got like with Mercedes
Yes,
because
but
of the.
still the major contractor is
Yes.
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
They have like how many trucks? I don't even know. They had
600,
a
I
huge order.
no 200,000, 100,000 in this next 10 years.
Yes, that's 100,000
Okay.
trucks is not a small number, right?
Yeah.
And Amazon, with FedEx struggling, I think Amazon will struggle.
Okay.
So auto may not be a good sector at this time. Plus, it already moved 30%. So
Mm-hmm.
either wait for a dip,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's tried to move higher, only then jump.
Okay.
Do not try to preempt it.
Okay.
If it is showing momentum on day, then jump onto it and close before the day ends. But do not try to preempt the move.
Yeah. Because now if I see like on the last 1 month, like maybe in mid of August to mid of September, uh, it's trying to break out the mid of August high.
Yes, but I still need more substantial reasons for it to go higher.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe I think along
The
with Tesla,
valuations
it's
when
maybe
these
like,
IPO came, the valuations were really, really expensive. Even now, it's really expensive.
yeah.
So if it comes down to 34, 30 area,
Mm-hmm.
I may opt at that time. But this time, if I have to trade it, I will trade it in the momentum, nothing else.
Okay. Thank
United
you. Now.
Health, no problems. UNH is making a M. This is making a M. So if it loses 520, 526 stop loss, if it breaks higher, it invalidates M pattern, which is double top. Right now, it's a double top. It's a double top, so 526, you can sell it and you can see 490. Walmart. See, all these economic companies, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle because the spending power is getting lower and lower with inflation. And with high borrowing cost, everything will turn expensive. If you have a car, it's going to be expensive. If you have a house, it's going to be expensive. If you have any kind of lending from the bank, it's going to be expensive. So spending power is going to get really, really difficult. And with spending power less, Walmart, it came and tested 12 EMA, couldn't break out of it. Right now it's holding below the 34 EMA. So I really wanted to go above 135 to give you a area for a move. But that's about it. I don't think so it has that kind of legs right now. ENPH. Again, as I said, Francis, it's a company which is more dependent on news. If there's a news on natural gas from Russia, it's going to go higher. Otherwise, it's consolidating right now. It may break down and fill these gaps, or it may consolidate more because it has seen some substantial move in the last few months. MDB I'm not doing specifically because it has broken down all the levels. Right now, it's like if you see the channel broke down and boom, it came down. I don't think any respite on MDB. That's why it's not in the list. It needs to gain something so that we can trade on it. Anyone has any other questions? Raghu, did you Vinod, did you have another question?
No, I don't. I don't. Thank you.
Okay. I think Raghu had. Raghu, what was your question?
Yeah, now like Costco year is there, I think this Wednesday or Thursday. Costco.
Forget years.
No, no, okay.
No. Don't be a gambler like
Okay.
me. It doesn't work out.
No, I thought maybe tomorrow might be a pre-year run or something.
You can do that, but I still feel that if I'm not trading these years, I'm making so much money.
Okay, thank you.
But it's choice which it's totally up to you. I'm not recommending any years.
Sure.
Sometimes
Okay.
I post trades on year where I'm taking a gamble. That's it. It's a gamble.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, Devendra.
Hey, Naval, just following up with your gamble thing. I'm actually doing a short on NQ with 3 contracts, and it's not doing well. Do you have any prediction like what's going to be like tomorrow? Have we
I
gone?
just mentioned about NQ that it's the 12,015 level where you should have your stop loss if you're short. 12,015.
Sorry, did I hear the number?
If you can see on the screen, it's
Yeah.
12,015. That should be a stop loss. If it goes above, it's going to fill the gap
Okay.
between the candle and the EMA. So that's the area where you need to be careful.
All
You
right.
can do a trading stop loss if you want.
Thank you for that.
No problems. And guys, if you are done, please lower your hand so that I can know who's asking, who's not. Yes, Amit.
Hey, hi, Nalpaji. I was asking about the AMD. I'm not sure if you covered those 2 questions there.
AMD, yes. So I have a 5-year chart and my is only one from left to right. Now, the problem is and you're trying to replicate the same. It may not happen because when I added this, it was maybe in 2020, 2021. And now you're in the real time, so it may not reflect back properly. If I come here and cancel the right extension, it was October of 2021 where we had this move. And I just kept it to the right, and now it's holding on to that. It's breaking below that area right now. So if it breaks below a couple of more times, I'm going to change it from top to bottom. Did that clarify? Yes. I think it's hi Priyansh. Guys, I have 5 more minutes, so if any
Yeah, sure,
questions,
Naval.
please.
Yeah.
Hi.
Like just asking about, Navalji, specific to like XLE oil sector, like what do you think? Or Oxy?
Yeah, as I said, I expect energy prices to either remain in this range or go higher from here. They should not ease out. Amit, I haven't muted you. You can speak.
Yeah, that helped. But quick question, like the approach that I had in place, like one regression channel from May 21 to December 21, and from all time high to the current one. So having
That's
two,
totally fine.
okay,
That's fine. It's just that in my channel, I never had a breakup or breakdown. So I'm just continuing with it.
gotcha. Okay,
But
uh,
your logic is fine.
okay, yeah, just wanted to confirm that. Yeah, and this helps. So thanks very much, Navaldeep.
No problems. Yes, Hubert.
Hi, Naval. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I was looking at AVGO on Friday. It really had a strong close.
Yes. I was watching AVGU and Nvidia both. And that's why I picked Nvidia as the long. It's like 407, 507 something. If it bounces from there, we have potential for 520.
Okay. So if you were to go in here,
No, I will go only above 508. The problem with AVGO is that the option premiums are really, really high, and the gaps between or the breadth of option price is really bad. You may have $2 gap or 175, 160 gap on AVGO. So if I have to trade something like that, I wanted a breakout, and breakout will come at 5.8, 5.10 area. All right. Yes, banks.
This is Shop Naval. It has been consolidating from June.
Yes, shop is really good at 30. Really, really good. But if it loses 30, it's going to go down further. It's really, really, it's kind of making a consolidation. It tried to break out a couple of times, but failed every time. It went to 40 and failed. Right now, it's just consolidating.
Yeah.
So you can keep 30 as your stop loss.
Okay.
If it loses 30, it may consolidate more for 28, 20. It's something like you may expect something positive on it, and only then it's going to go higher from here.
Thanks.
You can buy long-term options on shop spread like 40-60 spread, 50-60 spread for 2024.
Okay.
And leave it.
thanks, Naval. You were here again. One last stock that I was looking at was Mara, the Bitcoin stock, and it had a head and shoulders on the daily.
See,
Wanted to know
Bitcoin, as I said, I don't believe in Bitcoin or crypto at all. I left trading crypto when it was 18,000. It will go back to maybe 10,000. So Mara will come down to 4, 5. It's a head and shoulder patterns. Yes. A breakdown below 1050 will confirm that.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks, Naval.
Last one we have is Mr. Zoom user. I don't have your name.
Sorry, my name is Kalyan. I joined the call very late. I was looking for your analysis on Netflix. If you could please run through
We did that.
briefly. Yeah, I missed it. Yeah. So I have a put on that, unfortunately. But what do you think for this week? Where would it go?
Put will not work because it has a cup and handle pattern.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Fine.
cup and handle will erode your premium on put very quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Naval, on that.
So one recommendation when you're buying a put or buying a call, just look at the level of that stock. Otherwise, these options is gonna just bring losses.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
No problems. All right, guys. Thank you for joining after a very long time. Hopefully, you will have some decent information from this session. And We'll see you tomorrow in the evening. Good night. Bye-bye.